This is KGW News at Sunrise.
The search is on this morning for these two men who escaped from police in dramatic fashion in Boise, Idaho. They're on the run, described as armed and dangerous, and it's believed they could be in Oregon at this point. We'll explain how they escaped, coming up in one of our top stories.
And the University of Portland women's basketball team got a very special send-off on their way to the NCAA National Championships, when you can see them take on the Kansas State Wildcats, coming up in just a few minutes.
We are also live this morning, right there, inside the Oregon Convention Center, where a really popular event is coming back this weekend. Saturday and Sunday, you can check out the Bricks Cascade. It's basically a huge Lego convention, and some of the creations there are absolutely amazing. We're off to a start this morning with help from that woman who's putting together her own creation.
Cool.
An adult playing with Legos.
Yeah.
That is actually accurate, Rod Hill.
Yes.
You were observant this morning. You were on your game, and she is on her Lego game, doing all that right in front of Eric Patterson's camera. We'll have more from Bricks Cascade coming up here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, glad you're here with us this morning. Speaking of Legos, we are building our way to the weekend.
Oh, we are, yes. I'm very excited. And then spring break almost here for Oregon.
Yeah.
Yes, you pointed right at me.
Yes,
because I am
you're
going away.
He's off all next week.
All right, here's radar this morning. I think today is going to be similar to yesterday in terms of the fact we're going to see lots of dry time. Ongoing threat of some scattered showers in the region. Right now, the rain is mostly north of the Columbia River and starting to move mostly up into Skamania County. Mostly cloudy, a lot of mostly in my forecast. Mostly cloudy, 53 is the temperature outside right now. And a lot of you are at 50. We didn't cool down much overnight, so it's very mild as you step outdoors. We'll go for a few showers around at noon, 56 degrees, a decent chance of some sun breaks opening up. That will help us get up to about 62. Yesterday, it was 58, so a little bit warmer out there. Here's Chris.
Okay, Rod, let's pick it up in Vancouver. SR 14 at Lisa Road work, of course, continues on the Lisa Road overpass. That is closed. SR 14, though, closed overnight. It is reopened. Traffic is flowing both directions on that. We'll keep it on the east side of Vancouver. I-205, once again, expect some possible delays later on this morning as WashDOT installs ramp meters to the northbound I-205 freeway from Mill Plain Boulevard and Fourth Plain Boulevard throughout the day today. Back to the west side, Highway 26 looks wide open south of town. This is I-5 near the 205 interchange in Tualatin. Guys, lots of elbow room out there. No major issues on the freeways just yet.
Okay, thanks for that update, Chris. We begin this morning with a deadly two-car crash in North Portland's St. John's neighborhood. Police say a 4-year-old was killed around 9 o'clock last night on North Fessenden Street near Mohawk Avenue. The child was a passenger inside one of the cars. 2 adults and 2 other kids were also hurt and taken to the hospital, but are expected to survive. We don't know what caused the crash at this point, but police say the drivers involved stayed at the scene. We'll update you when we get more information.
We're going to start this next story by asking you to take a look at your screen. Police are looking for these 2 men. There's one on the screen. Their escape started in Idaho, but at this point, it's believed they could have made their way across the state line into Oregon. So one of them was an inmate. He got away with help from a second man who opened fire on officers as part of a coordinated escape plan.
Right, so the inmate was at a Boise hospital being treated for injuries when the 2 then made their getaway, taking off in a car. Here's NBC's Dana Griffin with more.
Tonight, the urgent manhunt underway for an escaped inmate and an armed accomplice who ambushed officers at this Idaho hospital.
They are armed and they have shown a propensity for violence.
Police say 31-year-old Skylar Mead, shown here handcuffed and bloodied, was taken to St. Alphonsus Regional Medical Center in Boise Tuesday night for self-inflicted injuries. Then, just after 2 a.m. this morning, as Mead was about to be transported back to prison, the accomplice opened fire, shooting 2 officers, a third caught in the crossfire. Police say the suspect and inmate then fled in this gray sedan.
We believe that this was a coordinated attack, certainly a planned endeavor to free him from custody.
All 3 officers expected to survive.
They could be anywhere at this point.
Investigators releasing these photos of Mead's tattoos and say he's a member of a white supremacist gang. He had been in prison for 8 years after shooting at a deputy during a high-speed chase. He was eligible for parole in 2026. Police have not identified the accomplice, but they urge the public, if you see the suspects, do not approach them. Call 911.
A family of 6 is now back home safe this morning after getting stuck for 24 hours in the Mount Hood wilderness. 2 kids were part of the group, an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. The family started their hike Tuesday along the Salmon River Trail near Welch's. They hiked about 8 miles, gaining more than 3,500 feet in elevation. But then they got stuck in several feet of snow. The family called for help just as it was getting dark, saying they'd lost their way and become disoriented. Rescuers couldn't get to them until early yesterday morning due to tough conditions. But a snowcat crew followed up, driving several hours through rough terrain to get to the family.
They're dealing with lots of snow on the ground, even still. There's down trees that our folks had to clear to get to them. A lot of elevation change, very condensed trails. So yeah, they were facing quite a challenging ordeal. What do you describe it as?
The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office says nobody in the family was seriously hurt, but they were understandably wet, cold, exhausted when they finally reached the Search and Rescue Command Post last night around 7:30.
March Madness kicks into full gear later today. In the men's basketball bracket, the Oregon Ducks play their first game this afternoon. Meanwhile, on the women's side, the Portland Pilots play tomorrow. KGW's Catherine Cook was on the University of Portland campus yesterday as the team started their journey to Kansas.
Walking out of the Child Center and heading to the big dance. On Wednesday morning, the University of Portland women's basketball team got the send-off they worked all season for. The Pilots are headed to the NCAA National Championships, and for the second year in a row, they're doing so as West Coast Conference champs. Junior guard Maisie Burnham.
I think every one of us are extremely grateful to be here, and we're extremely grateful to have this community sending us off.
The Pilots are 21-12 on the season. In tournament play, the number 13 seed Pilots will face number 4 Kansas State on Friday at 1:30.
They're just really well-rounded. For us, I think our goal is to speed them up and get them out of their rhythm.
Forward Kennedy Dickey says her team thrives as underdogs.
All of us just talk about going out, giving it our all, especially for me, Kiana, and Lucy. This could be our last college game ever, so we just want to go out with a bang and, play as hard as we can, whatever the outcome is.
The Pilots landed in a tough bracket with number 1 seed Iowa at the top. But upsets are what March Madness is made of.
We have nothing to lose, so we'll go out there and hopefully give it our all.
And maybe this year, Cinderella's dress is purple. In North Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
The problem is Kansas State's color is also purple, by the way. It's the battle of purple and purple right there.
Let's talk about green for just a second because, again, the men play this afternoon. It's a 1 o'clock tip hour time. I got all the information right here in front of me. South Carolina, the 6th seed, taking on those 11th seeded Ducks. But the Ducks are your Pac-12 conference tournament champion.
I'll take the Ducks in that game.
Okay.
I think Altman's a really good coach. South Carolina's,
You want to bet against Ron?
Come on, Ducks.
You know what? I'm going with the Ducks.
All right.
By the way, nice job with the purple today, supporting the University of Portland.
Is this purple?
Nice.
I thought it was blue.
Good job with the blue, supporting Duke, maybe? I don't know who wears blue.
It's purple.
Are you colorblind?
So.
It's purple.
What?
Oh, 2 say purple.
It's purple.
Whatever. Get to your weather, Rod.
All right.
It is purple.
It's purple.
It's blue.
All right, viewer poll time.
It's red. It's a low center on the map. This is coming into town tomorrow and Saturday. Today, like yesterday, a little bit of rain around, not much. Not bad to be out and about. This brings a cold front in tomorrow afternoon. It will also fire up the chance of heavier rain, maybe some thunder and lightning. The low trails Saturday keeps a spotty thunderstorm chance alive. And then right back in here, see how it's kind of carved out? This is colder air, not super cold, but snow levels have been above 4,000 feet. Over the weekend, the snow levels will be 3,000 feet. So there's hope for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of total snow at Meadows and Timberline, 5,000 feet and higher Friday overnight through the day Saturday. That may be the high end. It may be reaching, but we'll see if we can get it. Right now, we've got rain mostly up north of Portland. Here it is on Doppler radar, and the heavier rain pockets have exited Clark County. They're now over into Skamania County. We've had some, weakening showers at this point that have moved through Tillamook up into the Coast Range. Dry down in Salem, 50 degrees. I mean, we had the clouds last night, and we simply didn't cool off. So it's very comfortable as you step outdoors. 50 in Salem and Newport, and 53 in Portland. It's 45 out in the Dalles, and everybody's well above freezing in the entire region, it looks like. All right, Futurecast doesn't show much around this morning. Shows a few scattered showers during the day, not much. Just yesterday we had a trace. Today could be a trace to maybe 5/100ths of an inch or so. And then look what happens tomorrow, though. We are in the morning on Friday. Rain increasing at 9 a.m. And here's what we're really looking at is that storm front starts to move in. Heavy rain pockets will be on the radar, and there could be some thunder and lightning mixed in. That's late tomorrow afternoon into the evening. And then Saturday with that trailing low, sunbreak, scattered showers, and maybe some spotty downpours with some thunder. I think Sunday will be a calmer day, but scattered showers are in Sunday's forecast. A little bit warmer today. I think the odds are at least 50-50 that we'll open up some sunbreaks, and if we do, that would get us up to 60 or a little bit better. In most areas, it shows 61 in Corvallis and Salem. Temperatures in Battleground 60, Vancouver 62, southwest winds 5 to 15, a west wind to 15 out in the gorge, so not much wind out there. Although, when I got out of my car this morning, you can definitely feel there's a little bit of a breeze blowing the air around. All right, 60 tomorrow, and then Saturday 56. Here comes the cooler weather with the snow levels at 3,000 feet. Every single day through Wednesday right now has some rain in it, and that is your forecast.
Okay, thanks, Rob.